I arrive gently, as though stepping barefoot into a world made of soft dawn light. The air is cool, gentle, and kind, and I feel as if I am walking through clouds that whisper ancient peace. My breath naturally slows. My thoughts soften. Even the smallest sound feels sacred, like every note in the universe has paused to welcome this quiet moment. I am not rushing anywhere. There is nowhere to go, nowhere to reach. I am simply here, resting in the stillness that the world rarely allows me to feel. A soft breeze touches my skin, almost like the universe brushing away tiredness from my heart. I notice how my shoulders slowly release the weight they were holding. The noise of the world becomes distant, like a fading memory, and I am left only with the gentle rhythm of life breathing around me. Peace is not something I chase. It comes to me now, like a calm river finding my soul. I close my eyes. I breathe in deeply, letting my lungs fill like a lotus opening to morning sunlight. And as I exhale, something heavy leaves me. The tension melts, the mind loosens, and I fall into a calm space within myself, a place I had forgotten, yet it has always been here, waiting patiently. In this quietness, nothing demands from me, nothing pulls at me. I am free in the most gentle way, like a feather floating in slow motion. I inhale again, slow, soft, steady, a breath that carries peace into every corner of my body. My chest lifts, my heart expands, my inner world becomes wide and open. And as I exhale, I feel myself becoming lighter, as though every worry dissolves into the wind. I can almost hear the whisper of monks chanting somewhere far away, not in sound, but in feeling, a prayer floating in silence. A reminder that serenity is ancient, eternal, always waiting to return to my heart. With each breath, a soft glow forms around me, like moonlight resting on still water. I feel held, protected by something invisible, yet deeply kind. I tell myself silently, I am safe. I am calm. I am arriving home inside my own breath. I am learning again how peaceful life can be when I slow down enough to truly feel it. Breathing in, I receive peace. Breathing out, I release the weight I carried. Breathing in, I feel the presence of quiet wisdom. Breathing out, I let go of all noise inside me. There is no need to hurry. Peace is patient. My mind begins to trust this quiet place. My heart begins to rest. I feel the softness of existence, the gentle truth that peace does not come from outside. It unfolds from within. Like a lotus blooming under moonlight, I allow myself to drift deeper into stillness. The world fades. My breath guides me, and in this moment, I am simply here, floating, calm, whole, and held by silence. As I rest in this sacred quiet, I prepare to walk deeper into stories born from ancient wisdom. Stories that breathe peace into my soul and guide me gently toward dreams. I find myself walking upon a path made of mist, each step sinking softly into a cloud that feels like silk beneath my feet. The sky above me is endless, painted in hues of pale gold and silver blue, as though dawn has decided to stay forever. I do not know how I reached this place. Perhaps it is not a place at all, but a feeling, a passageway carved by silence, by peace, by the slow unfolding of breath. The air here is light, almost weightless, carrying the fragrance of jasmine and mountain air. And somewhere, faintly, I hear a bell ringing, low, ancient, and filled with wisdom older than memory. I follow that sound, letting it lead me the way clouds drift toward the sun. The bell does not rush, and neither do I with each step. The world below grows distant. Worries soften like a candle melting into warm wax. Fears fade like a ripple disappearing into still water. My heart feels lighter than it has in many lifetimes. My mind seems to float beside me rather than inside me. Here, thinking is not needed, only being, only breathing. Soon the mist parts, revealing the temple, not rising from the earth, but resting upon the clouds themselves, like a lotus floating upon a dream. Its roofs curve gracefully, painted with golden edges that shimmer in the soft sky glow. Paper lanterns hang, swaying gently without wind, as though moved by breath alone. Light pours from within, but not bright or blinding, warm, soothing, like moonlight that has learned to glow with compassion. I feel a pull in my heart, not urgency, but recognition. I have been here before, perhaps in another lifetime, or in dreams whispered to my soul by ancient monks as I slept under star-filled nights. The temple doors are open, waiting as though they knew I would arrive. I step inside. The floor beneath my feet feels smooth, like still water, reflecting a soft, sacred light. The air hums, not a sound, but a vibration of pure peace. I can sense presence, not seen, but deeply felt, as if thousands of monks, now one with eternity, reside here in silence. Their blessings seem woven into the air, drifting like soft feathers, landing gently on my spirit. A candle glows at the center of the hall, its flame steady, unwavering, untouched by breeze or time. In front of it rests a cushion, and I instinctively kneel. My breath slows again, deeper this time, as though the temple itself breathes with me. I close my eyes, and the silence around me becomes a vast ocean of peace. No waves, no ripples, only depth. A silence so complete that it feels like sound resting before birth. As I breathe, I feel whispers move around me, not spoken aloud, but rising like morning mist within my heart. You are not lost. You are not alone. You have always been walking toward peace, even when you could not see the path. The words feel like water touching dry earth, like hands holding me gently. I do not question them. I simply receive them. Another whisper rises, slow and ancient. Release the weight you carry, for clouds cannot hold mountains, and neither can your heart. I feel something within me loosen, a knot tied long ago by worry, by expectation, by fear of failing the world, failing myself. It untangles softly, without effort. I exhale, and with that breath, that burden leaves me like smoke, fading into the sky. When I open my eyes, a monk stands before me, not solid, but luminous, like light shaped into form. His face is kind, lined not by age, but by eternity. His eyes hold the stillness of mountains and the compassion of flowing rivers. He bows to me, and I feel unworthy, yet deeply seen. When he speaks, it is not through voice, but through the soft space between thoughts. You have climbed a long way to reach peace, he says, inside my heart. But peace was never far. It waited in your breath, in stillness, in surrender. I lower my head, feeling humility rise like a warm tide. I am tired, I whisper within myself. Tired of holding the world. Tired of worrying. Tired of searching. His smile feels like morning sunlight. Then rest here, he answers. Rest not to escape life, but to meet life gently. He gestures, and suddenly I see memories shimmer around me. Times I rushed, times I strained, times I held on to burdens like anchors instead of letting them drift. I watched them dissolve like mist kissed by sunlight. Nothing inside me resists. Here, letting go is not a loss. It is a return to softness, a return to sincerity, a return to breath. The monk sits beside me, though his presence feels less solid, more like an ancient soul resting as wind rests against a mountain. We breathe together. No words, no guidance, only pure presence, and it feels like eternity breathing through us. Both minutes pass, or hours. Time has no interest here. Peace stretches like silk, endless, gentle. I feel my mind drift, not disappearing, but merging with quiet, like ink dissolving into water. Thoughts come, but they do not linger. They land softly, then lift like birds into sky. When I finally stand, the monk stands with me, though his form has already begun to soften into light. Before he fades entirely, one final thought touches my heart. When you walk back to the world below, carry softness with you. Not strength made of force, but strength born of stillness. Then he dissolves into a soft glow, becoming one with the temple light. I bow, not out of ritual, but gratitude deep. Humble gratitude for peace I did not know I still deserved. As I step outside, the clouds beneath the temple move slowly, glowing as though touched by inner lanterns. The sky feels closer, tender, protective. I breathe once, deeply. The air tastes like serenity. The path appears before me again, mist, soft, inviting. I step forward, not to leave peace behind, but to carry it within me, like a gentle flame sheltered by cupped hands. The temple fades as I walk, not disappearing, but becoming a quiet presence inside my heart. A sanctuary I can return to with every slow breath, with each step. I feel myself drift deeper into calm, deeper into dreamlight, deeper into a night that promises rest, not only for the body, but for the soul. The whispers follow me, gentle blessings carried by clouds. May your heart rest in softness. May your breath lead you home. Peace is not far. Peace is you, returning to yourself. And with that, I continue into the silent sky, ready to dream, ready to surrender, ready to float in tranquility as the world sleeps softly around me. I walk further along the soft path of clouds, and soon the sky begins to change. The gentle gold fades into a shade like quiet evening, not dark, but tender, the color of a sky that has surrendered every hurry. The world now feels deeper, slower, as though I am stepping into the memory of a dream. Ahead of me, I see a single tree standing on the clouds, ancient, peaceful, branches spreading like open arms, ready to embrace the world. Its leaves shimmer softly, but among them shines one leaf, unlike the rest, a golden leaf that glows like a small sun resting in silence. I approach slowly, my steps light, my breath steady. Beneath the tree sits a monk, his robe simple, yet his presence vast, like mountains that carry centuries of wind and still remain unmoved. His eyes are closed, but I feel that he knows I am here. His stillness is so complete that even the air hesitates to move around him. I pause in front of him, not wishing to break the delicate quiet that lives in this place. But his voice reaches me, soft as breath, warm as sunlight touching still water. "You arrive just in time," he says, without opening his eyes. A heart often finds its way here only when it grows tired of holding too tightly. His words settle inside me like gentle rain falling on thirsty earth. I kneel beside him, and he slowly opens his eyes. They hold no weight, no demand, only endless calm. A calm born not from escaping life, but from understanding it. He looks at me the way moonlight looks at a sleeping lake. Soft, compassionate, patient. I have carried many things, I say quietly, though my voice trembles like a small candle flame. Memories that hurt, fears that cling, expectations that suffocate. I want to let go, but I don't know how. The monk nods, as though he has heard these words countless times across countless souls. He lifts his hand and points to the golden leaf on the tree. That leaf belongs to someone who is ready, he says. Ready not to forget, but to release. Ready not to escape, but to forgive. Ready not to run, but to rest. I look at the leaf. Its glow is warm, not blinding. Comforting, not distant. I feel something inside me stir, a longing not for what I lost, but for peace from the weight of remembering. The monk rises slowly, and his movements are so gentle, it feels as if he is moving with the breath of the universe itself. He walks to the tree and gestures for me to follow. As I stand, I feel the invisible weight in my chest, the stories I never told, the wounds I never admitted, the hopes I feared to lose. They rise like shadows beneath water, ready to be seen. Tell me, he whispers, what do you hold so tightly that your heart cannot breathe? I close my eyes. I feel memories pass through me like quiet waves. Faces, voices, moments when I tried to be enough, but felt like I failed. Times I held on to pain because I didn't know who I would be without it. The grief of losing things I once believed would stay forever. The fear that if I let go, I would lose meaning. The sorrow that clings not because it wants to hurt, but because it once came from love. Tears gather behind my eyes, not of sadness, but of release, like clouds preparing to rain after years of holding the sky heavy. I whisper softly, I am afraid to let go because I don't know what remains after. The monk smiles, a slow, warm smile that feels like sunrise in the heart. What remains, he says, gently, is you. The true you. Not the you shaped by holding on, but the you who floats when the world becomes light again. He reaches toward the golden leaf, but does not touch it. Instead, he invites me to reach. My hand trembles slightly as I lift it, my breath shaky but honest. The leaf does not resist. It falls into my palm effortlessly, like it had been waiting only for my willingness. The moment my fingers close around it, I feel warmth spread through me, gentle, soft, like a hand placed on my heart, not to calm it, but to remind it of its own softness. The leaf glows brighter in my palm, but instead of light burning, it melts like warm gold, turning into pure breath, dissolving slowly, disappearing into the air as it fades. I feel something inside me loosen the invisible chains of expectations I placed on myself. The silent grief I did not allow to rest, the fear that letting go meant losing a part of myself. But instead of losing, I feel expanding. Instead of emptiness, I feel space. Space for stillness, space for peace, space for a softer way of being. The monk watches me, his eyes gentle as falling petals. Letting go, he says softly, is not forgetting. It is honoring what was and freeing what is. His voice becomes a soft wind in my mind. Pain does not leave when you push it away. It leaves when you stop gripping it. Freedom is not found in holding, but in releasing. I breathe deeply, and my chest feels open, fragile, yet powerful in its vulnerability. The air here tastes different, lighter, sacred, full of possibility. The monk places a hand lightly over his heart, and I mirror him. Feeling my own heart beat steady and soft. You do not walk forward empty, he whispers. You walk forward clean. The clouds beneath us shift gently, as though bowing to the moment. The tree sways, shedding a few normal leaves that fall slowly and dissolve into mist. A quiet sign that all things pass naturally when their time comes. I turn to the monk again. Will I forget what mattered? I ask. He shakes his head, smiling. What is true never needs to be held with force. It stays by nature. Only pain pretends it must be clutched to remain real. A soft breeze flows around me, and I feel as though the world is exhaling too, releasing alongside me. My heart feels lighter, my breath deeper, my spirit softer. For the first time, I feel a gentle kind of strength, the kind that comes not from enduring, but from surrendering, from trusting that peace is not lost in letting go. Peace is found there. The monk sits again beneath the tree, his body settling like a mountain, returning to stillness. I bow to him, not as a gesture of duty, but of gratitude, profound, sincere gratitude for being seen without judgment, for being guided without force, for being reminded that peace is not something I chase, but something I uncover. As I step back, the tree glows softly, and I feel the memory of the golden leaf linger inside my chest, not as a burden, but as warmth, a reminder that release is not weakness. It is wisdom. I walk once more across the cloud path, my steps lighter, like my feet barely touch the world. I do not rush. There is no need. My breath guides me. My heart hums softly with peace, and behind me, the monk watches not as a guardian, but as a witness to my becoming. With each breath, I feel myself drifting deeper into calm, further into quiet. like a river surrendering to the ocean. I do not look back, not because I have forgotten, but because I have finally learned to carry only peace forward. And as the world around me turns softer, like twilight folding into moonlit silence, I feel the gentle truth settle inside me. Letting go is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of breathing freely again. I exhale, slow and peaceful, and the sky opens before me. Vast, calm, endless, waiting to cradle me in rest as I continue my journey into deeper serenity, deeper softness, and deeper sleep. I walk onward, and the clouds begin to thin beneath my feet, revealing something solid rising from the endless, quiet sky. A mountain. Not one carved by time or wind, but one shaped by silence itself. Tall, ancient, unmoving. Its surface is smooth stone, kissed by centuries of moonlight. No paths wind around it, no footprints mark its slopes. It stands alone in sacred stillness, as though the universe set it here to hold peace for all who have forgotten how to hold it themselves. I approach softly, feeling the air change denser, deeper, filled with a silence so pure it feels alive. It is not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of presence. A silence that listens, that breathes, that watches without judgment. The closer I get, the calmer I feel, as though every sound that ever weighed on my mind dissolves into the quiet air. At the base of the mountain, I pause. The stone beneath my hand is cool, but gentle, like a river stone resting under eternal shade. I press my palm to it, and a pulse of stillness moves into me, slow and steady, like a heartbeat that belonged to the earth before time learned to move. For a moment, I do not think or question or wonder. I simply exist. My breath merges with the silence. My mind rests like a leaf floating on still water. I begin to climb, not with effort, but with ease, as though the mountain lifts me rather than I lift myself. Steps form where I need them, disappearing behind me like dreams when the dawn arrives. There's no rush, no destination beyond this moment. With every upward motion, my heart grows quieter, my breath softer, my thoughts lighter. Halfway up, the world drops into pure stillness. There is no wind, no movement, no whisper. Even my breath feels sacred, as though each inhale is a prayer and each exhale is a blessing. I feel that if I spoke here, my voice would disturb something ancient, something holy. So I say nothing. I surrender to silence, trusting it more than I have ever trusted words. Memories drift through my mind like feathers, things that once felt urgent, loud, sharp. Yet here, they soften, dissolve, lose their shape. I realize that noise was never outside. It was inside me, clinging to me, asking to be held. And now, slowly, gently, it lets go. Or perhaps I let go. I am not sure which. It doesn't matter. Silence holds me now. Higher still, I climb until the sky touches the mountain peak like an embrace. The summit is smooth, wide, and open, a stone cradle for the soul. I sit, and the surface supports me like it has waited centuries for this one quiet moment. The sky stretches infinite above me, soft shades of blue wrapped in the hush of eternity. A moon hangs pale and peaceful, though it is not night. Stars shimmer faintly, resting like ancient guardians watching over sacred sleep. I close my eyes and breathe. One slow, steady breath, then another. My body feels lighter than cloud, my thoughts like dust settling to the bottom of a calm pond. I feel no weight, no boundary. I am not above the world, nor below it. I am simply here, a still drop in an ocean of stillness. Then, faintly, I feel a presence. I do not turn. I do not move. But I know someone is here, not in body, but in essence. A monk, or perhaps the mountain itself, made consciousness. It stands beside me without sound, without form, yet its presence fills the air like the hush before snowfall. A voice speaks not into my ears, but into my being, the kind of voice that does not break silence, but deepens it. Sit with your breath, it whispers, not to change it, not to control it, simply to witness it. I inhale. The breath enters like soft light, like morning fog rolling gently across still water. I exhale. The breath leaves like a sigh released by ancient stones. Again, I breathe. And again. Stillness, the presence, continues, is not the absence of life. It is life without distortion. It waits beneath all movement, like the mountain beneath passing clouds. I feel that truth settle deep inside me, deep like roots reaching into ancient earth. You have chased peace. The voice says softly, thinking it lived in places and moments. But peace lives in stillness, and stillness lives in you. My chest warms, not with emotion, but with recognition. I understand, not with my mind, but with the space behind thought, the place where truth rests quietly until we are ready to notice it. The presence remains silent now, but I do not feel alone. Stillness itself is company, gentle, unwavering, eternal. The mountain does not teach through words. It teaches by being, by existing without effort, without noise, without desire to be anything other than what it is. I let my breath fall into its natural rhythm, slow, soft, barely noticeable. Soon I cannot tell if I am breathing or if the mountain breathes through me. My boundaries dissolve. My body feels like mist resting against stone. I am held, not by arms, but by silence. A silence so deep that even thought feels like ripples on an endless ocean. I do not know how long I sit here. Time is meaningless in stillness. It may be moments or ages, but eventually I feel movement inside me, not disturbance, but awakening. A realization begins to glow, soft as dawn rising behind mountains. I do not need to chase calm. Calm exists when I stop running. I do not need to hunt peace. Peace emerges when I release trying. Stillness is not earned. It is remembered slowly, gently. I open my eyes. The sky before me glows softly, as though greeting a returning friend. The world below is distant, soft, without threat or noise. I stand, not because I am done, but because stillness is complete in every moment. Even this one. The presence beside me lingers like a final breath of wind before a long calm. It speaks only one more thought. Carry silence with you, not as absence, but as presence. A quiet heart does not run from the world. It walks through it like a mountain walks through time. I bow my head in gratitude, not with words, not with thanks, but with the soft sincerity of a heart washed clean as I descend the mountain. Each step feels like floating. The air around me hums with peace. The silence stays inside me, not heavy, but gentle, like a soft blanket wrapped around the soul. At the base of the mountain, I pause once more and look back. The peak shines faintly, like starlight resting on stone. I know I will carry this place within me, the stillness, the softness, the truth that peace does not need to be found. It only needs space to rise. I turn and continue walking, drifting deeper into calm, deeper into dreamlike quiet. My breath is slow, my mind clear, my spirit resting like a feather on a still pond in this silence. I feel sleep approaching, not as escape, but as surrender, gentle, peaceful, inevitable, like night embracing twilight. And with each soft step, I fall more deeply into rest, into quiet, into stillness that belongs not only to mountains, but to hearts that finally remember how to be silent and free. I continue walking through the quiet sky, feeling lighter than breath itself, and soon the clouds beneath me shift and part once more. What forms ahead is not a path, not a mountain, not a temple, but a river. A river made not of water, but of soft, luminous light, flowing like liquid moonbeams. Its surface ripples gently, shimmering with hues of pale silver and warm pearl, moving as though guided by the heartbeat of the universe. The river hums softly, and its sound is not a sound at all, more like a feeling. A warm pulse of compassion that rises and falls like peaceful breathing. I stand at its bank, and I feel something inside me soften. Where the mountain brought me stillness, here I feel warmth, a tenderness, a presence like a mother's embrace, like a friend who arrives without being called, like love that asks for nothing but to exist. The river glides silently, yet every movement seems to whisper ancient truth. The air around it feels calm, like dust settling after centuries of motion. I kneel beside the river and dip my fingers into its glow. It is neither cold nor warm. It feels like touch transformed into comfort, like forgiveness given shape. The moment my hand enters the water, memories begin to surface inside me, not sharp or painful, but gentle, softened by compassion. Times when I judged myself harshly, times when I expected too much, times when I felt I was not enough. They rise one by one, not to hurt me, but to be held and released. A voice rises from the river, not spoken, not heard, but felt within the space behind my heart. Forgive the moments you could not carry everything. The words sink through me slowly, like honey moving through warm tea. I feel emotion surface, not sadness, but relief, like exhaling after holding breath too long. The river glows brighter, as though it can feel my letting go. I breathe, and with each breath, a quiet warmth spreads through my chest, gentle, healing, kind. A figure begins to appear across the river, a monk dressed in robes, the color of dawn mist. He does not walk over the river. He floats above it, steps as soft as falling petals. When he reaches my side, he kneels beside me, his face serene, his presence gentle like a soft lantern in a dark night. His eyes hold no judgment, only infinite understanding. You have walked through breath, through clouds, through letting go, through silence, he says, in a voice as soft as river wind. Now, it is time to learn tenderness, not for others only, but for yourself. I lower my head, feeling a quiet truth settle inside. How often had I tried to be strong, to endure, to rise above, yet forgotten to treat myself with the same kindness I offered others. How many times had I forgiven the world, but held myself prisoner to tiny faults and invisible doubts. The monk reaches his hand toward the river, and a small orb of soft light rises into his palm, glowing, pulsing gently. He places it near my heart without touching, and I feel the warmth of compassion seep through my chest like morning sunlight spreading across a sleeping field. Compassion, he whispers, begins as a seed within yourself. When you water your own heart with understanding, empathy grows for all beings, naturally, effortlessly. like flowers opening under gentle rain. The river flows quietly, carrying shimmering droplets that glisten like stars drifting toward eternity. As I watch, I see shapes form within its surface. People I have known, faces appearing softly. Some who hurt me, some whom I hurt, some I tried to save, some who saved me. Each image floats by, not blaming, not accusing, simply existing like memories resting on gentle currents. The monk watches with me. There is no need to hold guilt, he says softly. Only awareness. Guilt binds. Awareness frees. A tear forms in my eye, but falls not from sorrow. It falls like dew sliding off a morning petal. Each drop that touches the river fades into shimmering light and dissolves peacefully. I whisper quietly, I forgive them. My voice is soft, trembling, but real. Then, softer, like the fading sound of a bell, I add, I forgive myself. The river brightens as though filled with moonlight, flowing more fluidly, more alive. The monk places his hands together, bowing slightly, acknowledging not me, but the softness awakening inside me. Double quotes, compassion is gentle strength, he says. It does not demand. It does not force. It simply allows pain to soften, hearts to open, and wounds to become wisdom. I feel a shift inside of me, a loosening, a warmth unfurling like petals waking at dawn. The river continues flowing, yet I realize I am no longer separate from it. I feel its movement inside me, a quiet current of kindness moving effortlessly. The monk stands and gestures for me to join him. I step forward, and instead of resisting, the river embraces my feet. The light rises gently around my ankles, calm, peaceful. I begin walking through it slowly, each step deeper into the luminous current. The river does not hold me. It supports me. It does not pull. It accompanies. Every movement feels like prayer without words. As I wade deeper, memories drift through me again. Moments I loved, moments I lost, moments I hoped, moments I doubted. But each memory now feels soft, cradled by understanding rather than weighed down by judgment. The river reaches my waist, my chest, until I am floating effortlessly, supported by compassion as though weightless. The monk remains by the bank, watching with eyes filled not with pride, but peaceful approval. His voice reaches me like wind, carrying flower petals. When you rise from this river, he says, you will be lighter, not because nothing matters, but because everything matters gently. I close my eyes. I feel the river cleanse not my body, but the tightness around my heart, the old knots of disappointment, the bruises of expectations, the echoes of hurt. They loosen, soften, dissolve, like feathers drifting apart in a soft breeze. Time passes in silence, or perhaps no time passes at all. When I finally stand, the river lowers itself gently, letting me rise like dawn rising quietly behind sleeping hills. My breath is calm. My heart feels warm, open, peaceful. Compassion flows through me like a quiet river that will never again run dry. I step out of the river, and the monk bows slightly. I bow in return, not out of duty, but gratitude, deep, sincere gratitude for a softness that I had forgotten belonged to me as I walk away. The river continues flowing, carrying light into endless sky. I know it will always be here, not only in this realm, but inside my heart. A gentle current, ready to rise whenever I breathe with kindness, whenever I choose tenderness over judgment, whenever I offer love instead of fear. The sky grows quieter, and I can feel myself drifting into even deeper rest. My body relaxes, my breath slows, my spirit floats like a lotus petal on calm water behind me. The river whispers a final blessing in its soundless voice. May you be gentle with yourself. May your heart be a home for peace. Compassion begins where self-kindness is born. I continue my journey, held by peace, wrapped in calm, and guided by the gentle river that now lives within me. With every breath, I drift deeper into tranquility, deeper into warmth, deeper into dream, deeper into sleep, soft, peaceful, eternal, like the quiet flow of compassion that carries every soul toward rest. The night wraps around me like a soft silk robe, warm and gentle, as though the moon herself has descended from the heavens just to watch over my slumber. The world feels hushed, like even time has chosen to close its eyes for a moment. As I stand at the beginning of the moonlit path, I feel the glow touch my skin, cool like silver mist, kind like a mother's hand brushing hair from a child's face. The air is sweet and quiet, and every part of me begins to melt into this stillness. I take a slow breath, and the night breathes with me. I exhale, and my thoughts drift like petals floating away on a calm river. I do not hold anything now. I don't need to. I am simply walking forward, deeper into the silence, deeper into peace. The path beneath me is soft, like sand warmed by moonlight, and each step feels as gentle as a whisper. My feet do not rush, they glide, and with every step, the world becomes softer, quieter, more tender. Far above, the moon hangs serene and full, watching me with ancient eyes that have seen countless nights like this nights, where souls learn to rest, where hearts learn to release, where dreams are reborn like lotus blossoms opening in still water. Silver beams ripple across the ground, illuminating a trail that feels not physical but magical, almost as if it has been waiting only for me. I follow it, trusting it, allowing myself to surrender. I feel my body grow heavier in the most comforting way, like earth inviting me to rest, like clouds gently cradling my spirit. My shoulders loosen, my breath softens, and the quiet around me becomes a blanket, slowly wrapping itself around my heart and mind. I no longer need to hold strength. I no longer need to think. Rest becomes my only purpose, and it feels holy. A soft breeze passes by, cool and soothing, carrying with it the scent of night flowers blooming far away. I hear crickets singing a gentle lullaby, and somewhere, perhaps in a distant, hidden temple, a bell chimes, one soft, deep, echoing into eternity. The sound hums inside me, vibrating like light within my chest. I feel my worries dissolve as though they were never real, only illusions washed away by peace. My eyes grow heavy. I blink slowly, as if my lashes are soft wings brushing the edge of dreams. With each breath, I feel myself drifting, not falling, but floating, like a leaf caressed by calm water. My heart whispers in silence. My mind grows spacious, like a sky without wind. My body relaxes deeper and deeper. My arms soften, my hands loosen, my spine rests like a river settling into still earth. Every muscle feels kissed by moonlight. I pause on the path and I look up once more. The stars shimmer like thousands of quiet blessings, each one a reminder that the universe holds me. Not one star rushes, not one star worries. They simply shine, and in their shining, they teach me how to rest. I breathe in their calm, and as I exhale, I release any thought that remains. Everything else is gone. Only softness remains. The moonlight gathers around me, forming a gentle halo. It feels like soft feathers touching my face, like water murmuring lullabies, like ancient monks chanting without sound. This peace is older than memory, deeper than dreams. It fills me slowly, beautifully, until I become part of it. My eyelids drop like petals at dusk, peaceful and sure. My breath slows into a gentle rhythm, soft in, soft out, like ocean waves kissing sand forever. I feel warmth in my chest, comfort in my bones, lightness in my spirit. I rest in the silence. I trust it. I surrender to it fully. I take one final deep breath, letting it fill me like moonlight filling a quiet lake. I exhale, releasing all that came before this moment, every worry, every noise, every memory of the waking world drifts away. Like distant smoke disappearing into the horizon, I am safe, I am held, I am calm, and now I am ready to drift into sleep, soft, slow, deep, peaceful sleep, where dreams glow like lanterns floating in a night sky, where my mind rests in the arms of silence, where my heart sleeps like a child under the watchful love of the universe. I take my final conscious breath, gentle as a whisper, and I drift slowly, deeper, softer. The moon watches, the stars bless, the night carries me. I surrender, and I sleep.